Hey, it's Dr. J. Hi, students. Here to do another video lecture here for you on chapter 2 for this class. And it starts with global leaders and intercultural communications. So this is going to be fun. So the chapter starts off with some unconventional learning objectives that you can go through. All right, and we're going to go into the communication process. So there's many different ways to communicate, especially cross-cultural. There can be sign language, verbal language, nonverbal communication. All these things are different forms of communication, both used in business and used in multicultural settings. So listening is really important. Not only is listening important, but listening is the key factor for gaining your understanding within a topic. Okay, now the book talks about two types of listening. It talks about listening and it talks about active listening. So I wanted to make sure I distinguished the difference between the two. So listening is a form of um, you know action in a way where you're accumulating a thought about something you want to respond to, okay, before the person is even finished speaking. Versus active listening is digesting what the person is saying and not coming to an immediate conclusion about what you should say at them based on what they're saying to you at the present time. So it's really important. Active listening is harder than just listening. Listening is great. We listen to TV, we listen to music, we listen to our friends, but sometimes we're not actively listening to them. Actively listening takes a little bit more focus to do. Okay? A really quick active listening, um, um, a quick active listening game that I like to use in my classrooms is I have two people sit down and one person picks a topic they're going to speak on for 2 minutes and the other person just absolutely listens with no response. Okay, they're not allowed to interject, they're not allowed to say anything, they're just actively listening. And then when the exercise is over, the person regurgitates what they actually heard the person say versus giving a response. So that's a quick way to test your active listening skills. All right, so intercultural communication. So intercultural communication breaks off into many various ways. It could be a communication process of um, culture, just simple culture and how they communicate. It could be something that there is used on a day-to-day basis, or it could be something that is used in a more traditional setting or for religious ceremonies. It just depends. Okay. All right, nonverbal communication. So the book talks about nonverbal communication being early in this chapter, saying that noted about 80 to 90% of communication was nonverbal and that is involved in no exchange of words. Okay, that's eyes, that's hands, that's body language, that's all these different things that are really excellent ways of communicating nonverbally. All right. Okay. We're going to get into international body language. So one that sticks out in my mind almost immediately is when I was in the military and I was in a country where it was very rude for you to put the bottom of your shoe up if you're sitting next to somebody or sitting with a dignitary. Put your shoe up and the bottom of your shoe to be facing the person's way. That was considered an insult. It was also considered an insult to eat or start eating before the head leader started eating, things like that. So those are some different international body languages that come to mind per se. The book has some other ones, but those ones have actually happened to me. So I thought that was interesting to share. Eye contact is important. I always have students practice eye contact with one another, especially preparing yourself for job interviews. I think it's really important to remember how eye contact is vital to your basic communication with an employer. All right. Okay. All right, so some human dynamics. So personally, human dynamics and principles of human dynamics have been verified with extensive studies in 6 different nations. They talk about the nations. The names of these principles are delivered and derived from the strengths that are the confronter of the overall idea of culture diversity as it pertains to the different humanistic dynamics that are involved in interaction. Okay, so the book talks about the main human dynamics: the emotional, mental, the emotional, physical, the physical, emotional, the physical, mental, and the mental, physical. Okay, gets into the communication rhythms about those. It's really interesting. So go ahead, make sure you go ahead and read that. If you have any questions about that section, email me or call me, and I will be more than happy to go more into that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go into um, the overall idea of intercultural communication. So, the main thing about intercultural communications that needs to be noted in this book is that before you interact with any one particular, country or anything like that in a business setting, make sure to do a little bit of research on the country. Always, no different than you would do research on a business organization. Make sure you do research on the country before you actually have a meeting or interact with them. All right, so that was chapter 2, global leaders and intercultural communications. Again, I wasn't able to cover everything, but if you have any specific questions about any specific topics, please feel free to email me, call me, or come by my office because I am here for your success. Have a wonderful day.